Hi and welcome back to Skincare and Beyond, your beauty podcast where we go deeper than skin deep. Today I'm joined by Sophia Mathieson, Director and Head of Education at DMK. Welcome, Sophia.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So we have worked with DMK for many years in our own clinic, and I know that our clinicians are huge fans of the brand. So it was founded by Danne Montague-King, who is now 83.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And obviously I've been reading into him a little bit. He's had such an amazing career and he's such an inspiring figure, I think, for the skincare industry.
Yeah.
I also read that in 2021 he received the President's Lifetime Achievement Award, which again, just incredible.
Yeah.
Such a fascinating person. Can you tell us a bit more about Danne's story and how he started the brand?
Yeah, of course. Back when he was a teenager, he lived in Beverly Hills and he actually suffered from really severe acne himself. And he always cites stories of being at quite fancy parties with his parents and him hiding in the corner because he was just so terrified of what people would think about his skin. So his parents took him to lots of the top dermatologists at the time, and no one could really help his skin and make it become back to a healthy state. It would either not do anything at all to the skin, or it would really reduce the symptoms of the acne, but really irritate the skin, and the acne would continue to come back. So
the drying out of...
Yes, which is not what you want. And so he became a biochemist, and that really ignited his passion to look at how the skin actually works. And he spent many years kind of examining the skin, eventually working out products, formulations, treatments that really work with the skin and address the cause and not just the symptoms of the skin condition.
I think it's great when founders have already experienced that side of having a skin condition because they completely can relate to their customer.
Yeah, relate to how they feel. And for us at DMK, it's not just a strapline, it's changing skin and changing lives.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do.
And the results are just incredible.
Yeah.
I've seen them and they're just life-changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've heard that Danne still works for the brand. He's still very much involved at 83, which is just unbelievable.
He's never going to stop, I don't think. He's in, fully in the R&D department.
Amazing.
He's every year we go for our international distributor conference. He's heading up the conference. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, just lives and breathes it.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So obviously we've learned a bit more about Danne, so it'd be great to learn a bit more about you and your experience with DMK and how you came to work for the brand.
Yeah, sure. So my parents actually started the UK distributorship in the year 2000 when I was 12. So I've literally been brought up with DMK, lived and breathed it for, gosh, I don't want to give away my age, a long time. And when I was younger, I wanted to kind of make my own place in the world. So I rebelled. I didn't want to be part of the skincare industry. I went to work in real estate and new business development and did that for quite a long time. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, my parents said to me, look, do you want to work in the business? You know, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Is this what you want to do? And it took me quite a while, but I remember the moment I was sat in a big meeting in central London and I looked out the window and I saw a billboard for a skincare brand. And I thought, I'm much more passionate about skincare, wellness, health. And I was just listening to someone talk about a drainage strategy for a new build development. And I thought, I enjoy this, but just not quite as much as skincare. And that's the moment. And then started working at DMK and now company director and lead the strategy and the education.
Amazing. And I'm guessing you have relied on your parents for a lot of the support and guidance, which must be really lovely for you to have.
Yeah, really nice. And, I've grown up working with the DMK family or going to the DMK family's events internationally.
Yeah.
I used to stay with Danne quite a few times when we went over to the US. So for us, DMK is very much an international family of distributors, and it's quite interesting because globally the distributorships are now a lot of them second generation. So they've been businesses for 20, some even 30 years.
That's amazing. And I guess that comes from the warmth of Danne and how he inspires
100%,
people.
100%. He's so inspirational, and everyone just wants to be part of the club.
Yeah. And like you just said, you are international. So I know that DMK is huge in Australia, China, Canada, South Africa, and obviously UK as well.
Yeah.
Why do you think DMK has lasted so long? Are you on your, how many decades with DMK?
DMK has been around for about 45 years now.
Yeah, amazing.
As in the UK, it's about 25 years.
Yeah.
I think it all comes back to the DMK concept is all about working with the skin's own chemistry. And that hasn't changed. The skin's an organ. So all of our formulations and treatments are designed with how the skin works in mind. And the skin responds really, really well to something that it recognizes. So there's nothing invasive about our treatments or products. There's nothing that will irritate your skin. The fact that we're not a trend-based company, so we don't have a big marketing team that sit and look at, what's the hottest new ingredient, what's the hottest new trend, because we understand how the skin works, and we've been using a lot of the ingredients that are now new ingredients for a very long time.
Yeah.
So for us, it's about working with the skin's natural chemistry and getting results.
It's tried and tested.
And what
I love about it is it's so easy and straightforward to follow as well, which like you say, if marketing does get involved a bit too heavily, it can become really difficult to understand. Yeah. Perfect. So Danne really is an innovator within his field. You can see that from what he's done so far with the enzyme therapy, for example, and then recently the StemZyme, which is one of the world's most advanced age management solutions. How does he continue to innovate, and what makes his approach different, I guess?
I think despite a lot of noise in the industry and a lot of pressure to constantly innovate and constantly be ever changing, he's always stuck to the DMK concept of remove, rebuild, protect, maintain. And that is really at the core of everything that we do. So Danne never feels the need to be constantly reinventing the product range, because we have a range of products that really work. Actually, the fact that I always find really interesting, there's a few products that have been so successful that the formulations barely changed in nearly half a century, and we use them and we educate on them still today.
Amazing.
But I think any new innovations coming forward, such as StemZyme, which uses stem cell therapy to reduce the aging process, it's kind of what is missing from the range, rather than kind of jumping on trends or, trying to create new products for the sake of it.
Yeah. So everything he does is deliberate in terms of this is something new and he wants innovative, but he is also into it. He isn't just doing it for the sake of it.
So StemZyme took 7 or 8 years in the R&D of the treatment program.
Wow.
And the results, if you look on our Instagram, are amazing.
Can you go into just explain the philosophy a little bit in terms of the steps? That would be really interesting to hear about.
Yeah, sure. So the DMK concept is all around remove, rebuild, protect and maintain. We always say, as an educator and a DMK therapist, remove and rebuild are done in the clinic by your DMK expert, and protect and maintain very much done by the client at home. And it's that marriage of the two sides that will really get the results. So remove is all about removing not only the dead cells from the surface, but removing cellular debris, toxins from inside the body using our enzyme therapy. And that is very much focused on both stimulating the circulatory system, but also lymphatic drainage as well, which is obviously trendy at the moment. But we've been doing it for years, and really flushing out the skin and creating a really nice, clean cellular matrix So when your new skin cells come through, they're going to thrive and stay alive a lot longer.
Yeah.
Then we have the rebuild aspect. I think a lot of companies are known for their remove, like the peeling, the exfoliants, but they're kind of missing the rebuild aspect, which is really, really important because, you know, you've removed everything, all the bad stuff. Now we need to really make sure that the skin is working, functioning, and also the structure of the skin is really strong.
The barrier. Yeah.
It's so important. And also at a cellular level as well. So making the skin much more resilient to future conditions, not just fixing what's in front of us, but giving clients healthy skin for the long term.
Yeah, because I guess if the barrier is impaired, it can exacerbate the condition more so.
Definitely.
Yeah. Makes complete sense. Can you go through the other two steps
of
at
course,
the end?
Yeah. So then we have protect and maintain.
Yeah.
So protect is all about protecting the skin from external factors. So not just UVA, UVB, but environmental stresses, pollution, and also protecting the body. We have a great essential fatty acid supplement. So protecting the skin from within as well. And then finally, maintain is maintaining the amazing results that you get with DMK. So using your home prescriptives in the long term. And that prescription will vary as well as your skin changes. We're never a one size fits all.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be bespoke, doesn't it, to the person and the condition.
Yeah.
So obviously Danne has already created such a legacy. How would you say that this is reflected in DMK's products and treatments today?
I think it all comes down to the concept, but also our core focus of bringing the skin back to a really healthy state. And we use the term homeostasis at DMK. This is bringing the skin back to balance and its optimum function. We always say we're trying to get your skin to the best genetic potential, which means the best it can be.
Yeah.
And something that we often refer to is a term called biomimicry. I think that's a term that's become quite trendy at the moment, but
yeah, you're going to have to explain that one a little bit more, Sophia.
It's something that Danne's been doing even before the term was created, and that's using formulations and treatments, that basically replicate the body's own chemistry.
Yeah.
So the skin will recognize what you're putting on it and then respond really, really well to it. It's just kind of impossible for the skin to respond well to something that it thinks is an attack or invasive.
Yeah.
You might get a quick fix result overnight, but then
it's like a friendly helping hand.
Exactly, definitely.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. And I think as well, all the products are transepidermal, which means that we're working really deep at a cellular level.
Yeah.
We're not just touching at the surface. We are changing how the skin actually behaves.
Yeah.
Which is really powerful because you're changing how the skin behaves and how it operates at a factory level, we call it in our training. So it can then remain healthy and then you can maintain it.
Yeah. And is that the main reason why we get these conditions then? Is it more so that our skin just isn't functioning how it should be?
Definitely. I think that's a really good point to make. I think a lot of people aren't aware that how your skin looks is basically a representation of what's happening inside the body and inside the skin. So if there's something that's at a disharmony, it is going to reflect on the skin. And I think just treating surface conditions will never treat it long term because you've got to get to that cause what's actually happening inside.
So obviously we've discussed that DMK has been around for a long time now. Yeah. How do you feel like the DMK concept is different from other skincare brands that maybe are a bit younger?
Yeah. I think there's a few things really that's worth mentioning. So first of all, DMK products are a combination of, we use a lot of botanical ingredients, obviously combined with your medical grade ingredients as well. And it's that combination that's really, really important. We don't use any filler ingredients. Every single ingredient is there for a purpose, even if it's to make one of the key ingredients perform at its best.
And can you do that with a blend of botanical?
Absolutely.
Does that work really well then?
Absolutely. So botanical ingredients can be so powerful. And I think people often forget the power of nature. Obviously, Danne was a biochemist himself, so he learned and understood a lot about plants. And if you go back, hundreds and hundreds of years, people were using plants as medicine.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're really, really powerful.
Yeah. And like you were saying before, our skin recognizes natural.
Definitely.
So it makes sense.
And I think the products are really, really active. So we talked about, they're non-irritating, and that's because the body recognizes what's happening.
Yeah.
All of our products are prescribed by a DMK expert for your skin. And we talked about that kind of the symptoms and the cause. It's the DMK expert's job to really get down to the cause of the problem for you.
Okay.
So we call it prescribing. We don't sell products, and we don't want to sell. Our aim isn't to sell people lots of skincare products. It's about getting results, and that can only really happen if you're prescribed by someone who's been taken through our rigorous training programs at DMK.
So let's talk about some of the hero products at DMK. Can you take us through a few of them? Yeah,
absolutely. So I think we would always say our number one hero product is something called Beta Gel.
Okay.
We, as a distributor, get phone calls on a weekly basis from people trying to buy this from us.
I was actually at the clinic yesterday, and one of the clinicians was like, "You need to try Beta Gel." She was like, "I think you'd love it."
Everybody needs to try Beta Gel. But because we're clinic led, we don't sell products online. We don't sell products straight to the client. Everything's prescribed. We have to direct them to their DMK clinic. But Beta Gel, it's a wonder product. And we say it's for everyone because it basically stimulates your skin's own immune system.
Okay.
So whether you're suffering from a specific skin condition, any of your inflammatory conditions such as eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, inflammatory acne, or if you just want to maintain really healthy skin, or you're focusing on age management as well, Beta Gel is really going to strengthen the skin and help it to repair itself. It contains the key ingredient is beta-glucan, hence the name Beta Gel. And that's actually 20% more hydrating than hyaluronic acid.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard about that ingredient, actually.
Yeah. Wow. It's in a number of our products.
20 times? That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to take the clinic's recommendation then and try that.
Yeah. And it's also worth me noting as well that with DMK products, they go a long way. Yeah. So you don't need to use a lot of them. Most of them will last you 3 months. They're very powerful products. Again, hence why it's important to be prescribed. But they go a long way and they work.
The results are there.
Yeah.
Amazing. Another one then?
Another one. So Danne's first 2 products that he ever formulated are still 2 of our best-selling products.
Wow. And when will that been, like 70s? 80s?
Yeah, 70s, I guess. Wow. And it was all, so the 2 products are called CBE oil and herb and mineral mist. And those 2 products must always be used in combination because they basically recreate the acid mantle of the skin. They mimic what's being produced by your sudoriferous glands and your sebaceous glands, and to really get that healthy equilibrium within the skin's barrier. So anyone with compromised barrier, which we're seeing a lot of at the moment due to stress, should be on those products. Or anyone who wants really hydrated skin. They're just no-brainer.
Perfect. And I think we've kind of touched on this, but so for those listening, you would have to have a consultation with a DMK clinic, which Face the Future clinic is a DMK clinic. So if you wanted to purchase the products from Face the Future, you would have to have a consultation at our clinic. Can you just explain a little bit more, Sophia, on why that's so important? Yeah,
absolutely. So Face the Future has been a clinic with us, I think, for over 15 years. It's one of we call them our MD advanced clinics. So they offer a range of all of our advanced protocols, and they really know what they're doing and really know what they're talking about. So I'd highly recommend going to see any of the practitioners there. all of our therapists are really highly educated with DMK, and we have probably one of the most rigorous criteria for becoming a clinic with us, and also education standards as well. So we do ensure that our therapists retrain every 3 years or so, because results are so important, and that integrity of brand for us is really important, because the way we get results is by understanding our client, and it's not just about looking at what's on the surface of the skin, even though we obviously will carry out full skin analysis. But it's about what's your medical history. Obviously, we'll talk about allergies and things like sensitivities, but things such as your lifestyle, your nutrition, stress levels, water intake. People forget that all these things can play much more of a part into how your skin's kind of displaying itself than just what you're putting on your skin.
Yeah, the holistic side of it.
The holistic side's so important. The skin's an organ, and you're basically feeding that organ with, stress potentially, bad diet. That is going to show itself on the skin. So it's really trying to get to that cause of the skin condition rather than just treat the symptoms. And we do both at DMK.
Yeah. And what can a listener expect if they did have a consultation then? Would it be questions around that and then they get recommended products alongside?
Absolutely. So we'd always start with your basic home routine. That's what we call it. So we never put you on loads of products all at once, because we need to see how your skin responds to just using a few DMK products. A lot of clients will see textural differences after 5 to 7 days of just using 3 or 4 DMK products. Wow. And then we'll get you back in the clinic. We'll look at the skin, maybe do your first enzyme treatment. Yeah. And then we will then prescribe maybe more products if your skin needs them based on what you want to achieve. So, we have specific products for pigmentation, acne, pretty much every skin condition.
So it's quite minimal at first.
Yes, and that's important because we want you to be confident in us. Yeah. And I think it is really important that that partnership between therapist and client, as we talked about before with the whole DMK concept, you've got to be doing your job with the products at home. Yeah. And it's really important that we do our job as well in terms of prescribing them, but also doing the treatments.
Yeah, I feel like once you become a DMK customer, you must just
for life
be so loyal and just stay a DMK customer.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. So obviously you have worked for DMK for 5 years, but it's been a part of your life since you were 12.
Yeah.
What myths or misconceptions about skincare do you often see? And how does DMK help cut through that noise?
Yeah, I think personally, I am slightly concerned about the reliance on vitamin A that we're seeing at the moment, and the increasing inclusion of it in a lot of products. I think sometimes the inclusion of it just to say it's a product with vitamin A in it, and for sales rather than to try and get results. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there about people having to rely on vitamin A to have good skin. Yeah. At DMK, there are vitamin A products that you can use as part of your home routine. But our goal is really to reprogram, re-educate the skin and get it to the point where you don't have to be using those products for the long term. So it's actually going to save you money in the long term as well.
I think retinol, vitamin A is a really interesting topic. Yeah. Obviously, there's so many derivatives of it and it can be so confusing for the consumer. Absolutely. And obviously, I'm not an expert, but when I've used it in the past, it can make my skin really sensitive. Yeah. And obviously, if you don't understand the need to how to maintain it or use it or make sure that you recover your skin afterwards, it can, I guess, be really damaging.
Definitely. And I think it's about, we work with our therapists so they can help educate clients on how the skin actually works and how powerful ingredients like vitamin A are, what they're actually doing to the skin. I think in terms of one of our key vitamin A products, we use naturally derived vitamin A, and it actually will never irritate your skin. It will actually nourish it. Yeah. People are astounded when they use it. It's like they've used all of their nourishing products and all they've used is their vitamin A. It's a very interesting topic. Yeah. And obviously it is a great ingredient but it's about using it in the right way. And that reliance point, I don't think anyone should be relying on any ingredient in the long term.
I wonder if that's come from, in the industry, it's known as the one ingredient that has proven to prevent aging.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point for us, because there's never going to be one ingredient that kind of solves everyone's skin. It's all about how ingredients work together. And also products can have percentages of ingredients on the bottle. But just because it's got a certain percentage of something in a product doesn't mean it's going to be super active, because it's all about the formulation of the product. And if the product doesn't have the key ingredients, the other ingredients that are really going to support it, it just won't work in the same way. Also, things like extraction processes, if it's a natural ingredient, can vary dramatically. So I guess it's that education point as well. So when people read about percentages on products, really not to focus on that. Try and learn more about the product in the round rather than, and what else you're using it with is so important as well.
So that multi-ingredient product is going to be safer to use, really, because you're getting all of the benefits, and it's
absolutely
all parts. Wow, so interesting. Okay, so looking ahead then, because Danne seems to be someone who likes to look ahead and keep going. What can you tell us about the future of DMK, especially in the UK? Obviously, as the director of the UK section. Are there any upcoming launches you can tell us about? Probably not, but anything exciting that's coming up?
Things that are exciting for us in the UK. As I said, we've just celebrated our 25th anniversary in business. So that's a huge milestone for us. And a lot of our DMK clinics have been with us a long, long time. For me personally, what excites me is, as I run the education side of things, I'm seeing more and more therapists coming into the industry that have a real passion for understanding how the skin actually works and getting the results for people. There's kind of been a bit of a shift, I feel, recently, to not just looking at kind of being a beauty therapist and treating people's symptoms on the skin. People want to understand more. And I think that's, especially with social media, people have access to a lot more information, sometimes incorrect information, but it's great for us to see those passionate therapists that we can educate on how the skin works, and then it can only be good for the client as well at the end of the day. I
would say that passion probably comes from DMK though as well, in terms of how inspiring you are as a brand.
Thank you.
So at the end of the podcast, we like to get our community involved by asking our guests a question to our listeners. So Sophia, you asked, what does healthy skin look or feel like to you? And Nick1801 on Instagram said, it's having the confidence to go makeup free. It's looking in the mirror and thinking, wow, which I think is such a powerful statement and response. I think the makeup free point, especially, because I guess if you are struggling with a condition, the thought of leaving the house without makeup is probably really scary. And I can imagine the first time, you know, if someone has been through the DMK process and the skin is a lot better, the first time they leave the house without makeup must be such an empowering moment for them.
Definitely. I think that statement will probably resonate with a lot of people. Being able to go makeup free is, very powerful for a lot of people. And that's what we're all about with DMK. Healthy skin, getting it back to your best genetic potential.
Yeah. And I must say your skin does look amazing. We try to get rid of the glow that Sophia's got, but it's just glowy. The DMK glow.
DMK glow.
So Sophia, thank you so much for coming today. It's been really inspirational to learn more about DMK.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And I just love how much integrity there is behind the brand. I think it's really, really empowering and inspiring.
Thanks.
So if you're interested in starting your own DMK journey, you can call us on the number in the show notes for advice and recommendations from Face the Future Clinic. Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We'll see you next time for more skincare and beyond.